I'm Barbara Etienne with Projectkin, and joining me today for this very special RootsTech Ride-Along live stream from Projectkin is my good friend Lynda Heines of Hindsight. And we need a little hindsight here. Hello, Diane. Good to see you. And joining me today as my co-anchor here in Berkeley, California is none other than meet Zara Beth. I just figured out how to get her to move closer to me, move the basket. She's not so sure. So it's great to see all of you. Things are getting busy and we're doing a lot of these live streams. So I think I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time. See what I did just there, Bill? It's my Texas thing. We're pulling a Texas angle on all of this because it kind of works with a drive along. So we now have checking in with an update. Today is Tuesday of the RootsTech week. On site, hello, Kathy. On site in Salt Lake is our very own Pat, or Dear Myrtle, who is joined with many of our bloggers. Good morning, Deborah. Lovely
There's
to
my
see you.
cousin.
Your
Deborah's
cousin.
my cousin.
My
Yeah.
cousin. Did we check? Are we cousins? We
I
must
don't
be
think
cousins.
so. I don't
If you're
think so.
Deborah's cousin, you must be my cousin. So far,
I think
Diane's
Deborah's
cousin.
related to everybody.
Hey, yeah, we're all related to everybody. That's just how it works. Excuse me, I'm losing my chair. That's my cat. So let's see. Pat's in Salt Lake. And if you too are in Salt Lake, you're probably busy. I get it. But you may just want to make a little time at lunch at, did we decide it's 12:30 local time? Mert is hosting a lunch in her suite at the Radisson. How about that?
Wow.
So the Radisson took one look at Mert and said, oh my goodness, you're staying with us. And they upgraded her to a fancy dancy suite. So she decided to invite everybody over to come play. So
Wow.
come on down. And I think we're going to have pictures from all of that. And it's kind of the whole point of, are you into this or not? Come on, pay attention. See, there's a cat up there. So that's happening over there, and there's more at ridealongpartners.org. And remember, if you're writing posts about RootsTech and what's happening, send them my way. I'm happy to celebrate them. I put them on the posts page. I post here. When I get it in my head to do that, I also post it up to Blue Sky. You're very welcome to brag about it anywhere else too, because that's just what we're here for, bragging for each other. So, joining me today is Lynda Heines. What's going on for you at RootsTech?
Well, I'm really excited. I got my list of everything I'm going to watch, and
Organized.
I marked the ones that were definitely, but found out that most of them are definitely. So anyway,
that's a problem.
But I wanted to mention about how many, since everybody's talking about how many relatives they have. I have 189 now, which is nothing like who was it? Was it Bill that had a whole bunch? Somebody, maybe Deborah had. Deborah's the one that's related to everybody.
We'll talk about that.
What's exciting is there are 2 from my father's side, and the rest are all from my maternal side, because I don't know, they're all dead or something, but I was so excited to get those 2, and I don't know them, but I figured out who they are now. They added to my tree, even though I did verify though. But anyway, so I don't know how do we want to do this as far as what I'm looking forward to. The first one on Wednesday with the universal language, making family connections through food. I just think that'll be fun because of all the food stuff I've been doing. So it's anyway, so that's and her name is Lynda. I'd never heard of that name before. Lynda. So
yeah, that's coming in perhaps from Australia. It's on Wednesday. So the program is Wednesday because it's actually starting on Thursday in Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Asia Pacific.
Okay.
So that's why, and the whole, Polynesia, Micronesia, Melanesia, everything on the other side of the international date line, Thursday happens on Wednesday. Interesting. I'll
Anyway,
look for that.
yeah,
International language is food or something to that effect?
it's the universal language, and they're gonna talk about family memories and how to create a family cookbook, and not like we don't know how to do that, but I always like to hear what other people you always get if you can get one idea, it's worth watching.
You know,
Um, yeah.
remember the family cookbook that, Carrie Carney did for Project
Mhm.
Kin, a project
Yes.
recipe for that,
Yes.
2024 maybe? Uh, the genius to me for that wasn't just it's a recipe, it's a cookbook with all of our family recipes. It was organized by ancestor. What a, just that simple idea made it a family history cookbook
It's
in a
great.
simple idea, or organizing it by traditional foods for holidays that we celebrate as a Jewish Chinese family or something like that.
Right.
Organizing it to the calendar, but something that makes it a family. And Diane's chiming in with over 8,000 recipes.
Oh,
Still the same
ah,
folks with
well, Diane
indexes,
Diane, deserves some kind of prize. 8,000. Jeez.
right? Oh, what I discovered is I have, like me, you have families that came from the various regions in Germany, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
And my dad's side came from Switzerland, but his great grandmother was from Germany, and then her family were all from Germany. And that family, it turns out, is relatively well documented, but not very much in family search. And they also didn't come over until the middle of the 19th century.
Mm,
So I too have like only about 200 relatives on that side of the family. My mom's side is off the charts because they've been here forever.
right.
Um, but it's really the interest. See, there's Bill, my other cousin, 24,000. And whoa, he has a second cousin. That's amazing. But it is when they came, where they came from, that is really hitting those numbers. I found the most valuable surprises coming from those that there are the least of and the furthest away in some cases. So it's just get in there. Yeah.
It's interesting, and it's really helped me build out my tree, because I had these people in my tree. I had their ancestors, but I hadn't got the descendants. So
Yeah.
it's been kind of really neat. I am going to contact them, but there is uh, one of these, and I can't remember what day it is, and I can look through here, but talking about how to approach these people,
Yeah.
to approach your cousins. So,
Yes.
um,
So for this, watch for Bill and Kyla. They have done a series of live streams about
right,
that.
right.
And Kyla, as LDS, has been doing Roots Tech since the dawn of history. She's on site there. She's got a little card that was the inspiration for these little bookmarks that I put into the swag for partners. The alignment's wrong, but the idea was to have a place to write down cousins and names and numbers that you can be following up with. And yeah, it is exactly
That's
that.
it.
You at the close, I have to just jaw dropping here. Bill Moore has just chimed in with his
Oh,
24,741 contacts. The closest relative is a second cousin. But interestingly, Jane pops in with only 271 relatives, but among them, she has two second cousins. That's mind blowing. So it's having them very close, having them where you need them. That's what really matters the most.
that's neat. That's neat. Yeah, Bill wins the prize. I thought Diane did, but no, it looks like Bill did with the
So
24,000.
I don't know what Kyla's number is, but whatever it is, it's always 20% more than anybody else's.
That's amazing. It's amazing.
But it just means what's interesting is we get more people from outside. It's diversity is where this gets interesting.
Right. Well, some of the stuff, I'm really into German, so, on Thursday, there's Finding Your Village, Identifying German Places is going to be at 2 a.m., but I'll have to see the replay. But uh, Identifying German Places of Origin for U.S. Midwest Settlers, which would be great. Although, I mean, I do know the village that one of mine came from, but I want to know, I know the other village, but I can't find any information on it. So the other one I have a book on. So anyway, I'm just hoping I'll have some good information on that. And there's other German stuff too, but also on Thursday, it's What's New on Family Tree Maker. And I have that and I really don't use it. I mean, I'd like to use it more. And I thought, well, maybe they have something that really interests me.
There's a lot of talk about that, and you'll see a lot of people in this group that are all Family Tree Maker users who are, I mean, for example, Emma Cox was talking about this just yesterday. And also, you'll find we have a number of people with some real expertise in German ancestry, or someone like Xanthi Hall, who lives in Germany,
Right.
and can
Yeah.
offer tips. Yeah.
Yeah, there's and of course the AI stuff. Anything with AI. Oh, this was really good. Thursday is Social and Civic Clubs Discovering Your Ancestors' Community Involvement. That's at 1:15 my time, 1:15 my time. And to me, I mean, I've looked at some of that, but I'd kind of like to hear what she's going to talk about. Just another way of giving more color and bringing more description and stuff to your writing is knowing
Yeah.
about the clubs and
Yeah.
stuff.
So, on the topic of AI, this came up in one, Lisa Rex, I think it was, who mentioned in a mini mert, the idea of a watch party. And I've looked up how to do a watch party, and there's a bunch of software tools out there that cost money to do it. But the good folks at the Society of Genealogists in the UK are doing watch parties from London, live stream for the UK market, that are watching things like the lobster tails, lobster backs and redcoats and lobster backs, I think it's called, which is a piece all about the American Revolution. And I'm thinking, ooh, watching the American Revolution with a room full of Brits. How fun is that?
Really?
Um, but that's for members for the Society of Genealogists. But I looked at how they're doing it. We could do that. So if we have enough people by any given topic, I'm thinking AI is like a one we'll have a lot of people interested
Yes.
in.
Yes.
And we could, I could organize a watch party for that. And the way I would do that is tell you I'm going to do it, and we all sign in to the Zoom at the same time. And I don't think I think we just keep that silent and let the chat in the Zoom follow as we watch the real program live streamed on our computers. Thoughts?
It's a great
Does
idea.
does that
Great
sound
idea.
reasonable? All right. So I will be posting about doing there's a panel that sounds like it's a big panel on the first day, the 8:30 a.m. I don't know, something like that. So do I see hearts of approval on that one? You let me know with a little love taps. Okay. Thank you, Jane.
Oh, Deborah beat Bill too, so,
Oh yeah. Those
yeah.
numbers are getting big.
Um, s I was looking German surnames, just because I have one that I'm having trouble with, and I just think that that would be great. Um, I may have a lot of 'em. Point out the ones that I put red again that I think but here's, like, all kinds of and, AI and smart tools on my heritage. I always like that too. Oh, there was another. The new ancestor collector connector is at 11 p.m. on Thursday, I believe. And I went into that because it's hooked up to um, what you call it, Family Search, and it it came up with a whole bunch of people that they have information on. but I haven't been able to find those people on my tree. But I just did it this morning. Yesterday it didn't work, but they're having an 11 o'clock talk on that. The new ancestor connector, which it's part 1. So it sounds really interesting. They've got a database, 55,000 pages of transcribed historical documents.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
anyway, that
there's
sounds
a
good.
you can even get started on that now. It is at, the name escapes me for the moment. Maybe somebody online has it offhand. Or maybe it's in there. There is a persons name.org is the
Wolford or
organization.
something like that.
Yeah,
Something like
yeah,
Wolford. Start with a W.
right,
But all you have to do is put a new
exactly,
ancestor connect and it gets you to it.
right.
So,
Right. So then you go through it and it processes all the people in your tree and whether
right,
they had anything about them was documented in this guy's records, and it
right.
comes back. I had over 12,000, and it's kind of, it takes hours to go through, but I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything. It's just the browser sitting there cranking, and it's pretty breathtaking.
It
So
is. It is
well
pretty.
worth doing ahead of time, and then you can attend the event to learn more about how, what that all means. Best I can tell is it provides documentation for you of what you might have already known about the people that it mentions about, where somebody else met with them, talked with them, whatever, which is interesting. It's a big deal apparently in the LDS community as well, for who
Yeah.
these people were. I had a lot of Quakers, so there was a lot of overlap there.
Well, see, the people that I had, I just went to the top few, which were supposed to be closer, and they're not even in my tree. So I
Mm,
don't know. Um, I'm not sure they're right. I mean, that's another thing. So,
yeah,
because there's somebody that's matched with me that was not who he married, and I know that. And I looked on Family Tree, and somebody had changed what I had put on, what Family Tree had put on it, or not Family Tree,
family
Family
search,
Family Search.
search.
Yeah, so I had not gotten in there, and so I sent her a message yesterday and said, where do you have proof about this person? Because that's, maybe we're not related at all." But permanent.org, I know nothing about, and
Hmm.
that's going to be on Friday,
Hmm.
and I'm interested in that. Uh,
Excuse the tail.
and of course, there's more things about German stuff. Um, yeah, it's just all kinds of great stuff. Uh, Genealogy for your descendants. There was one about, is that the one that, no, that wasn't what I was looking at. Oh, this one I thought was really neat on Saturday. Family history for all ages involving children and youth. And I remember you had some Projectkin projects things
Hmm.
that they did some stuff. But again, I like to see it's a way to engage people, young people, and
Hmm.
also to engage other people to
Hmm.
get interested in doing genealogy
Hmm.
and telling the stories, basically.
Hmm. Yep.
That's what we're about.
You know, the way I always think about it is that the genealogy forms the framing. It's like the framing of a building, the scaffolding on the outside. It's the exoskeleton. Pick your metaphor, but it holds everything up. Because without that, it's like, a little wobbly. But then as you layer in the stories, it might be a little bit like interior design. And they might be ephemeral. They might be stories that come and go and are relatively meaningless. But the meaning for those stories comes from the connection to other people. So, for example, I might tell a story about lace curtains. Do lace curtains matter? Not really. But it might really connect with somebody right here, right now, that's listening to that story that says, handmade Victorian lace curtains. They couldn't machine make those then. And blah, 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 blah. I don't know anything about lace curtains. I just made that up because we used to have them here. But
Or yeah, and again, they could say, "Oh my gosh, I remember grandma's.
yeah,
Grandma had them in her living room, and I just love those," or maybe I pulled them down or
and
something.
and that time that I pulled them down, grandma didn't get mad at me, and we kept it a secret from my parents, and
Right.
that secret bonded me with grandma in ways that I never expected. Totally making this up again, but the point is, it's about the story. And the stories could come out of nowhere. And they can come out of nowhere because you asked, because of the objects, which leads us to objects again.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of objects, actually, there was one other thing I wanted to mention today about the RootsTech side is, we could all be doing this, watching the RootsTech events live from home on our own. I mean, are the programs any different because we're watching them together? No, come on, not really. Hearing about them in context connects us together even better, which gives us better, a basis for asking questions. You know more about German family history than I can ever imagine. And I know I could reach out and ask you about Black Forest regions and this and that and the other thing, and you'll be able to help me and willing to help me. Um, well, these connections are important.
Right.
So, for the Genea bloggers, which has been around forever, they've handed out blogger. Oh, I was supposed to be wearing these the whole time. I forgot.
I was going to put that on
Blogger
mine and I forgot.
beads.
I
Right.
forgot
So this
about
is
it.
the DIY. So I just made a big deal about it. So these are DIY blogger beads. I don't have blogger beads. I wasn't gifted blogger beads. They don't make them anymore that way. So these are cosmetic jewelry of my mom's. So that means something to me, right? I never wore it before, but here it has new meaning. Well, it turns out that every year they also had a big group picture of all of the Genea bloggers together gathered at RootsTech. Oh, well, that's nice. We're not there. How can we participate? Here's the idea. The plan is to have that picture on site on, I think it's Friday. Watch the Ride Along Ride Along Partners website for details later today. But I believe it's Friday. And then I'm going to organize count them, two Zoom sessions on the same day, morning and evening, or my Atlantic and Pacific times, and we're going to take a Zoom picture together, and then I'm going to mush them all together.
Oh,
So
that's neat.
we were all there. So that's the plan. But it still comes down to it never was about the beads. It never was about the sticker. It never was about, the lace curtains, but it's the connection that it makes.
Right.
And that's what we're doing as a group, but it's also what we're doing with our own families and our own time. And, that's what makes it interesting. And as Kathy has just chimed in here,
Right. Yeah.
um, j- first of all, Kathy will also be right there with you watching the Family Tree Maker one. I'm going to put up I guess,
And
a
Jen too.
voting list. Yeah, I'll put up a voting list or something for other programs to do uh, oh, and also whether you have a Zoom account, because anybody that has a Zoom account could be the host of a watch party. I think that's what it comes down to. At some point, you all want to watch something, and I want to watch something else. So I don't want. Kid, I got one Zoom account. But yeah, and Kathy points out it is the discussion we would have with our variety of backgrounds, all watching something together, that pull out different perspectives. And I think that's going to be especially true in topics like AI. AI anyway, because of the nature of AI and the misgivings and concerns that people have anyway about AI, which is all the more dramatic right now as it's become a piece of political news. So, yeah, great stuff. Wow. Did anybody out there in our little audience have further questions or thoughts? I'm guessing that we will have some signups here for joining us in a watch party, and our little today is Tuesday, so plan for, I think it's Friday. Watch for an update on Zoom, and maybe I'll actually do it occurred to me that I hadn't done a post. I haven't actually done a post for Projectkin about all of this happening together. They're in my videos all the time. Anyway, we'll think of something. The point is, we are always just making the stuff up. So if you have ideas, go ahead and act on them. Make it up, go do it. And if you aren't sure about doing it, come talk to me and I'll talk you into it. And if that doesn't work, right, Lynda, I'll convince you to do it with me. Because that's how I roll. So, thank you so much for doing this today. I really appreciate it. I keep this calendar going each day. Today is the day, as I said earlier, of the lunch. If you are on site at RootsTech tomorrow, my very special guest is you, Bill. Bill will be my special guest, followed by Lori Olson White, who will be on site. I hope she's going to make it to the lunch today. She'll be coming in, flying in, getting there from her home in Wyoming. And let's see. Then Friday, I have Simon Davies, who many of you know for weare.xyz. And I'm closing it out on Friday with Tania. Tania Kuntz, whom I know you know from the the so-called junk journal conversation that that we had. And then on I had as a Projectkin event. I'm distracted for a moment because I'm looking ahead at my calendar for what's on Sunday, because the regular calendar continues with Jennifer Jones and her Speakers Corner special, where we have 2 speakers, including you, Jane. Jane
Oh, wow.
will be my guest, along with Lex Knowlton on Sunday. And then relative to everybody, for relatives at RootsTech, I pushed out what would have been today's mission genealogy events to next week because we're busy. But next week, that is March 7th, we will have, wait, is that right? No, that's not right. March 10th, I jumped ahead. There it is, March 10th. Oh, hello. I'm off by a calendar. Excuse me. Jane, you're right. You are next month in April, but my Sunday program is actually Crystal with Kelly Cedarfield. Will be my guest. Will be the guests. And you are going to be on a mini Mert on Monday the 9th, Lynda. Or so says my fancy dancy calendar. And then
yes, I am.
Yes, thank you, Jane. It is you are in April on the Speaker's Corner. All of this review of the calendar is really trying to tell you things are busy, and you are all part of all of this. And I'm so grateful. You all want to be sure not to miss Kyla and Bill's excellent adventure at the end of each day, as they wrap up what they saw, what Bill saw online and Kyla sees on site, as the tennies and the bunny slippers meet for a conversation. So thank you all. You were saying Substack Live for the session. I'm sorry, Deborah. I missed the context of which conversation. Talking about too many. It's all over on the calendar. So you can look at from ridealongpartners.org/events or projectkin.org/events. It's how I keep my life straight. Calendars. Thank you all so much for joining today.
Great to see y'all.
Highlight
Thank
of
you
my
both.
day. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you. Talk soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Oh.